Hello there everybody, welcome back to another YouTube video. Today I will be going over an overall update to my Lego City. Since last time I did an update was a couple weeks ago, and I've changed a lot about this since then. So first, let's start with the overall Avengers Endgame section. Not a whole lot has changed here, other than, if you can see them, Gamora and Guardians of the Galaxy 1 Groot are piloting the Milano, if you can see them. Or the Benatar. I didn't have anywhere else to put them. Thanos has been changed to look way more like his Avengers Endgame counterpart and less colored gold and weird looking. That's all the changes that have gone around up here. So if we go down here, we will see I have added a new building back there. It's a very interesting building, but yeah, a friend of mine requested it for me, so back here we have Dr. Octopus with bendy arms. We have the Rhino back there. We have Green Goblin in his classic comic book outfit. Dr. Octopus is in his classic comic book outfit as well. Scorpion is there, as well as a custom Kraven the Hunter and a comic book / original Vulture design that I have from an old Lego set. Over here we still have Falcon and Winter Soldier fighting the US agent with the blood on the shield. They're all fighting over a wizard and the difference between a sorcerer and a wizard, which is a reference to an episode. We have a civilian here that I just made out of knockoff pieces. He just had his motorcycle taken by this criminal here. Over here we see Loki from the upcoming Loki TV show, as well as Baron Zemo, who is driving the sports car, and Falcon, who has the Captain America shield. These are customs that I made. I think they look pretty good for what they are. Over here is where I threw together my WandaVision customs. This is meant to be White Vision and Scarlet Witch, who has become OP, like in her finale episode. She's got the headdress or whatever and the magic stuff. This is still meant to be Stan Lee. He's eating his pizza over here and wondering why there are superheroes in New York. Up here is Sentry. He's an obscure Marvel hero, but I wanted to include him because I think he's actually one of the coolest comic book heroes, in my opinion. Back there is Moon Knight, and over here is Peter Parker's apartment, as you can tell with Peter Parker up on the top of the building there. Overall, if we turn to the side, we will see my jumbled Spider-Man collection with 3 movieverse Spider-Men. On the left back, we will see the Amazing Spider-Man suit with Andrew Garfield from Amazing Spider-Man 1. On the very front, we will see Tom Holland's Spider-Man, and on the very right, we will see the Tobey Maguire Spider-Man suit. And they're all gaining up to fight this haphazardly made Dr. Octopus from Spider-Man 2. He's climbing on the Avengers Tower and destroying this monorail with the whatever his name is, Ironmonger in front. Up here we have Vulture. This is actually kind of a clustered mess, but up here we have Mysterio, who Tom Holland is fighting. Up here we have Vulture versus Homemade Suit Spider-Man. They're fighting on the Daily Bugle, which is a custom building that I made after I had to destroy the old Daily Bugle. Up here is where a lot of the changes have occurred, because I now have a custom Scorpion from Into the Spider-Verse, as well as a custom Prowler. I used a Batman cowl to make that, as well as some other random pieces. Here we have Olivia Octavius climbing on the monorail. It's basically just Dr. Octopus in a fireman's outfit and an afro with some really weird looking arms. We have over here, we have Tombstone. You can see him. He's being webbed up by Miles Morales in a custom dragon scale Big Fig alternate universe Green Goblin. I don't have a marker to color his chest, so he's just going to be wearing battle armor and the purple shorts, but I think he looks pretty cool. Over here we have Kingpin, and if we look up here, we will see Miles Morales, Peter B. Parker, Spider-Gwen, Spider-Man Noir, and back there, if you can see, we have the anime Spider-Mech, as well as Peter B. Parker in his civilian outfit. I forgot to mention that right next to him is a statue of a Red Skull, which is on the Avengers Tower and goes along with my custom Captain America from the first Avengers movie, which is also custom. Also over here, this is meant to be a custom Ironmonger. And down here, this is meant to be the Iron Man Mark I, which is a custom made up of multiple different pieces. Down here, we have the original Avengers. These haven't really been changed a whole lot, except I added Black Widow and Hawkeye, and I gave this Iron Man armor some more bulk, since in the movie it was bulkier. Back here we still have Loki, and we still have all the same other stuff. Over here, I figured it would be funny to include a little bit of an inside joke, since Iron Man, or Tony Stark, calls Ebony Maw Squidward. I figured it would be funny to put the SpongeBob minifigure over there. Punisher doesn't think that's too funny, so he's back there. He's next to the Absorbing Man, or what's meant to be the Absorbing Man. Doesn't really look like him. It's kind of hard to tell that he is the Absorbing Man, but he is. Over here we have Shang-Chi. We have the Civil War Black Panther, who's toppled over a taxi and is running over a van. And overall, other than Old Man Logan and Galactus, we don't really have that many changes over here. We do still have some gang members over here. They're ganging up on these people. And overall, other than moving a few things, I think that will cover the entirety of all the changes. But now I'm going to go over the actual buildings, seeing as how this is an updated overview of my city. So as we visited before, this is the lobby of my custom Avengers tower, if you can see it. There's not a whole lot inside of it, although I did design the interior to look like a fancy museum. Up on the top, we have a small hall of armor with a few assorted random Iron Man armors. Up on the second level, I don't know if you can see, but Pepper Potts is on the second level, and there is in fact a light brick in there. On the third level, Iron Man is designing Ultron. On the fourth level, Black Widow and Cho Chang, I think her name was, from Age of Ultron. I don't remember what her name was, but the doctor lady from Avengers Age of Ultron, is trying to heal Hawkeye in there. Meanwhile, a Leviathan from Avengers 1 is flying by. The Iron Legions are being deployed as MCU Spider-Man is swinging past them. Mark 1 Ultron is being designed in there. There is a machine gun mounted on the floor, or the balcony of Avengers Tower. And at the very top, we have a Chitauri soldier flying around and just vibing on a chariot like they did in the movie. We have a Quinjet being docked in front of a small room. This part can actually open up, but it is very fragile and hard to access. Yeah, as you can see, it's very hard to access, but you can in fact get a Iron Legion drone in there, and that Iron Legion that I put in there is actually meant to be Ultron Mark 1. And then up here we have we have the party scene from Age of Ultron. And then up here, going back to the first Avengers, we have Loki and who are meant to be his Chitauri soldiers. I only have 2, so I wanted to make more customs. They're all up here while Dr. Selvig is celebrating. I'm actually very proud of that custom Loki. I think it looks pretty good. And then up here we have my favorite part, personally, of the entire Avengers Tower, which is the Leviathan coming through the portal back there, which uses a Ninjago Spinjitzu piece. So overall, that is the Avengers Tower. It is a couple feet tall. I don't know how many feet tall, but it's pretty big. Over here, we still have the helicarrier. The helicarrier actually contains the helicarrier first has an updated design for Falcon. I improved his wings, so it was the version from Captain America and the Winter Soldier, where he's wearing the green undershirt and the big weird looking wings. We have Nick Fury up on his helicarrier. We have Captain America fighting Bucky along with Black Widow from that same movie. They're all 4, maybe 5 of them fighting. We have the 2 jets from the first Avengers movie. This one carrying the nuke, this one being the one that gets destroyed. I forgot to mention, this is actually meant to be when Iron Man carries the nuke into the portal. And going below the helicarrier, we have a bunch of miscellaneous customs. We have on the surface of the Sanctum Sanctorum a custom Mephisto of my own design, along with Dormammu, two of the strongest villains in the MCU. Well, not MCU, but more like comic books. I wanted to make a compilation of just the strongest villains in Marvel, so I sprinkled a bunch of them throughout my city. Over here, we have Venom and Carnage, which is meant to foreshadow the upcoming movie, Venom Let There Be Carnage, which I'm pretty excited for. Over here, we have a custom Kang the Conqueror from the comics. And in the Sanctum Sanctorum window, I cannot access this, but maybe if I ever take it out, I can show the interior, although it is very empty, and there's not a whole lot going on. We have a knockoff minifigure of Doctor Strange in his office. It's a very empty office, but I did manage to include the monster from the official Lego set, and actually these bookshelves from the original Lego set. I apologize. These bookshelves are all that's supporting this upper floor from collapsing in on itself. It is very fragile inside there, in case you cannot tell. But yeah, this building is my largest custom building. This Avengers tower, or at least the top half of it, from like my hand upwards, minus all the craziness going on, was all a Lego set that has been heavily modified, or a knockoff set that was modified. Up here, we have the Silver Surfer. He is using a broken sword piece as in effect, like he's traveling to speak to his master. We have a web piece from Spider-Man trying to stop this monorail that the villains are taking over. And in the background, we have a custom Galactus, which is made out of clay, paper, and Legos, as well as an Emmett alarm clock from the Lego movie. You can hardly tell it actually was anything other than Galactus, in my opinion at least, because of how hard I worked to make sure that you couldn't see the alarm clock portion of it. So, down here, we have 3 gang members cornering this man down here. By the way, that's Namor the Submariner. He's trying to attack Galactus and failing. We have 3 members of the Hand, which is the bad guy group that Daredevil's associated with. We have Old Man Logan over here talking to this dude as Shocker's driving his van down the street, and Iron Man Mark 47, I think, is trying to break in. So, over here, we have the Defenders. We have Daredevil, who is confronting Bullseye. We have a custom Jessica Jones, Luke Cage, and who is supposed to be Iron Fist, but I just it's more based off of the Netflix show version, but it's not really, it doesn't really look like him. He looks like he's about to get attacked by Elektra, which is a custom, which is all the way back there. We have Deadpool, who is breaking the 4th wall with a custom speech bubble build that I did, and how he wants to kill all the Defenders. Back here, we have the Phoenix Force Jean Grey with a custom Phoenix build that she's attached to. Up here, we have William Stryker on a helicopter, which has a missile and machine guns about ready to attack. Down here, we have Mystique from the X-Men movies, Cyclops from a comic book, Gambit, by the way, I don't know what comic book Cyclops came from, Juggernaut, which is a custom from the comic books, Colossus, which is from the Deadpool movie, Magneto, which is from X-Men Apocalypse, Storm, which is also from X-Men Apocalypse, Archangel, which is from the comics, but also X-Men Apocalypse, if you can see him, Psylocke, who is also from X-Men Apocalypse, who is from X-Men Apocalypse, Beast, who is from the X-Men comics. That is a custom Onslaught, which is another one of the strongest Marvel villains ever. We have Iceman back there, which is a custom made out of Ninjago pieces. We have Rogue being captured by the Sentinel. Then, attacking the X-Mansion is a monstrous Sentinel knockoff Lego set that I bought, which came with this stand to mount it to. But yeah, this was not custom, but I think it looks absolutely incredible. Up here, we have a custom Wolverine who is attacking Sabretooth, or Sabretooth is attacking him. These both are from the comic books. And then going back up here to the helicarrier, we have War Machine, who is flying in to help the Avengers with Sokovia. We have Falcon up here as well, since I'm like 98% positive he was in Age of Ultron. And we just overall have all of the Avengers helping combat the Ultron drones on a micro-scale Sokovia build, by the way. We have Hawkeye, Black Widow, Scarlet Witch, Quicksilver. Scarlet Witch is, by the way, destroying this Ultron drone. We have an Ultron drone hanging off the side of Sokovia. We have another Ultron drone. We have another Ultron drone. We have Captain America, who's fighting this Ultron drone. Iron Man, Thor, who is fighting Ultron Prime, as well as a few official Ultron Mark IIs. We have a few other Ultron Sentinels who the Hulk is busy tearing apart. And then at the very top, we have Ultron, or Ultimate Ultron, versus the Vision knockoff figure. This Ultron figure was a custom build, actually, that I did that was based off of the Moose Figs. And it is actually the same exact scale as a Big Fig, so. Down here, we have the little chamber that Ultron uses in the movie that he uses to, like, tear himself apart and imprison Black Widow in. And the whole thing is mounted to a few clear things. I forgot to mention that down here on the X-Mansion, which, by the way, the X-Mansion is based off of the movies, Quicksilver from X-Men Days of Future Past, I think. He's running on the side. And Nightcrawler, who is from X-Men Apocalypse, is teleporting onto the side of this building. The final thing I would like to go over, or group of things, is the Hulk versus the Hulkbuster, which is taken from Age of Ultron. We have J. Jonah Jameson up here, who is pointing out all the Spider-Man He wants pictures of Spider-Man. And down here we have a reference to his son, who becomes a werewolf in the comics, of course. And we just have all these various people down here. The next and final thing that is not even a part of my Lego City, but I figured I would go over it, seeing as how it is a Marvel-related thing, is my custom Infinity War display. Everything, or almost everything, from this is from Infinity War. The only thing from Infinity War that really isn't in the Infinity War setup is the Sanctum Sanctorum and the Benatar, seeing as how all the other settings in the movie either don't get touched upon or get destroyed. So there's not a whole lot to go over here in Wakanda. There's mostly just a ton of Outriders. Back here we have the Winter Soldier, or Bucky Barnes, aka the White Wolf, and we have a Rocket Raccoon back there fighting together, fighting all these Outriders. We have a custom Big Fig of the Black Dwarf or Supergiant or whatever his name is in the movie, the big guy that gets his hand cut off. He's fighting the Mark II Hulkbuster. And yes, it is inaccurate to have this here, but I don't have the room to put it anywhere else. So, yeah, overall, back here we have Captain America, who's fighting some more Outriders. Black Panther is up on a super jumper, trying to combat all these Outriders. We have Okoye and Black Widow with some knockoff bendy legs, so she can do like the karate kicks or whatever like she does in the movies. And Scarlet Witch, they're all fighting whatever her name was in the movie, I forgot. And then we have the remains of the play feature from the Lego set, which, yes, I do have the Corvus Glaive Thresher attack set from the Infinity War wave of Lego sets. I have completely rebuilt Falcon's wings, so he's got way better looking wings now, and he's got better looking guns. And we have War Machine, who is also joining him. And we have the comic book version of White Wolf, which I got in this knockoff Lego set. But I didn't have anywhere else to put him. And seeing as how he stays in Wakanda, I figured it would make the most sense to keep him there. Up here we have Corvus Glaive attacking Vision. That's not actually a Vision figure, that's a custom that I made. And overall down here we have Thor, who looks insanely awesome. And moving over here, we have Iron Spider and Star-Lord, as well as Iron Man Mark 50, Drax the Destroyer, Doctor Strange, and Mantis fighting Thanos, which is a custom Big Fig, and a Big Fig that I might do a video on later on in my channel. And actually, by later on, I mean I'll probably do it later tonight because I'm insanely bored. So overall, oh, the one thing I forgot to showcase, this is meant to be Thanos' hut after he does the snap, which is hence why he's wearing black pants and an undershirt and just looks overall done with everything. So overall, this is my Lego City update. I hope you enjoyed. Oh, I almost forgot to go over the giant Ant-Man figure that I made. This giant Ant-Man is like a foot tall, and it doesn't really have any other play features other than just being freaking awesome to look at. And then there's Wasp at top. So overall, that was my Lego City. I hope you enjoyed, and if you did, please consider liking and subscribing.